Okay, now that Wincentsen has gotten all the stuff out of his system that will get us canceled, well, at least get him canceled, and I'll get canceled just by association. Why didn't you stop him? Why didn't you say, whoa, Eric, not appropriate here in the 21st century?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I
Mm.
am a progressive liberal who voted for Obama. So that makes everything right.
And
That
it's on
excuses anything racist I might say for the next 20 years.
and it's on video and it's on YouTube and now you're caught. Wincentsen finally admits he's a hardcore Obama voting liberal. I guess the whole conservative thing was just an act to woo women. I mean, you do live in
Yeah,
Arizona, so
well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, if I was going to woo women, and you've seen what type of women I'd be wooing, unfortunately, which would be Marjorie White and that. Oh, the Bieber chick is cute, even though she doesn't have a brain cell on her.
oh my God, yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene and yeah, Bobert, I think her name is.
Colbert or Biebert or something like that.
Yeah,
And then, of course, there's Palin
she's coming back. The-
and going away.
I, I don't know.
I,
I think maybe as crazy as the party used to be, now maybe it's gotten so crazier that it lines up with Sarah Palin. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about
anyway,
ELO and not get into both of our
eh,
hardcore liberal political views.
yeah. No, of course, I voted for Bush and McCain, but
I know.
oh, McCain and Romney, and which were not exactly hardcore,
No,
crazy conservatives, but
no, no. In a different election, I might have voted for McCain, but after McCain, anyways, um, but when it mattered, you voted for
probably
Clinton.
not because McCain kind of gave up at the end.
Mm, you know, but when it mattered, you voted for Hillary Clinton. But sort of like the same reason that I voted for Hillary Clinton.
No,
If
I
I
didn't vote for
have,
Hillary.
if I have to, ooh, I thought you said you did because the
No, I
choice was
didn't. I didn't
Trump.
vote for either of them. Well, actually, no. I voted. I did vote for president. I voted for Bill the Cat and Opus
Mm.
because they were campaigning on two spaces after a period,
No, right, right.
and that is something I can definitely get behind.
I never understood that. Hey, can you tell that we really don't have a lot for Zoom casting today? Since we're um, subscribe, hit the bell wherever that is on the screen. Down there, give us money, PayPal, Patreon, PO box to send checks, money orders, oil drums of cash, not pennies, $100 bills, just packed into oil drums of cash. Is that it? Yeah,
That's
subscribe, give
it.
us money. That's it for
Subscribe, give us money.
I think that's it for the plugs. Oh, this weekend, Friday, or Friday in England. I don't know what time in Americaville or the rest of the world. Anyways, May 6th, me and Wincentsen are going to be on Trimming the Musical Fat. It's a podcast where they talk music. We're going to be trimming the fat off of Out of the Blue and knocking it down to a single album for what we thought were the songs that would make for a good single Out of the Blue album. Out of Single Blue. Nap time's creeping up fast on me.
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah. And speaking of sending us stuff to Wincentsen's P.O. Box, we got a letter from our anonymous donor, and I'll just read some stuff off of here that I thought was amusing and can reply to. Your anonymous super fan here. Enclosed, you will find check number 2. Check number 3 should be coming pretty soon anyway. When was this? This was March 30th. So yeah. Let's see.
I haven't checked the PO box in a few days,
Yep.
so
No, EPJ, I'm not in prison. But no, my wife doesn't know. Oh, right. Bob. About the money. Miscellaneous in the budget means miscellaneous. Oh, it's better than hookers and hooch and blow and all of that. You're actually giving it to hardworking podcasters who
Need hookers and hooch and blow.
maybe on your end, I get a wife who does it for me. And I'd rather spend it on Legos than hooch and blow. Legos are forever.
Yep. Harder to snort though.
Well, yes, much harder. I don't have any loose bricks. Can I pull that one? No, I can't pull that one off. It's wired to the building. All right, never mind then.
Oh.
I get to lights in my Lego buildings.
Okay.
Little LEDs and there's all kinds of wires. Anyways, thanks so much for the shout outs on YouTube and on the podcast bonus tracks episode. I played the phone call part with EPJ's funny comments for my daughter and she got a kick out of it. Thanks for making a dad look cool. Well, honestly, that's my superpower. You put me next to anybody, and suddenly they look like the coolest person in the room. So, I should rent out my
He just
service.
figured out the secret for what the real reason I agreed to do the podcast.
So that Wincentsen can finally look cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Oops. I can't do it with my left hand. I can only do it with my right. It's always been my dominant hand.
Some of us are good with both of them, and
I know. She thought EPJ's ribs were funny, just like me. Even the stalker drop. Taken out of context, how could I not use it? Never in 2 years, or listening to you guys, would I have ever imagined that yes, I, would be the featured drop at the end of an episode. Very cool, even if I had to play the patsy. Anyway, love you guys. No strings attached dollars. Only thanking you guys for who you are and the entertainment you provide. Peace. Anonymous listener, Bob. We'll just keep him even anonymouser by not using his real name.
did he sign his real name?
It just says peace, anonymous listener. Probably his real first name.
Okay. So we won't reveal it in case his wife listens as well.
Well, miscellaneous means miscellaneous.
Yes, it does.
So he's miscellaneously spending his money. For good things, though.
Yes.
All right. We got a couple of comments about Sci-Fi Woman, but one of those will go in the bonus tracks episode. But the other one is from Corey Gomel.
Corey Gomel says, on my first hearing, I couldn't get past the chorus. Sci-fi woman, sci-fi girl. Really? That's the best Jeff could come up with? How weak. I listened to it again. Yep. Really now happy about that chorus. I don't know if he meant that or really not happy.
I don't know.
One more time to be sure. Yep. Hate it. But something funny happened. The rest of the song I really liked. Loved even. Maybe it's because I kept listening to it because of the poor chorus, and in my head, I was trying to rewrite it. But somewhere I fell in love with the song. Chorus be damned.
I guess his now meant was supposed to be not.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me because I put out an underground newspaper for 20 years and worked on a bunch of high school and college newspapers that I always copy read or proofread everything I post on Facebook when I'm not in jail for another 10 days for something stupid, or Twitter. That I always try and make sure. Maybe he should have had one of his interns at his legal office do the copy reading before he posts.
That's true.
So that's our comment for that, and we're going to pad this out with a comment we got really quite some time ago, and it's just been sitting around waiting for something like this to happen, where Well, we need to pad this out for a little bit. And this comes from Trevor Raggett. So, this isn't a podcast about E.L.O. Rather, it's a podcast where film critic Mart Kermode chats to composer David Arnold about Bond film movie music. However, this section, starting around 19 minutes in, captures for me one of the reasons why the post-band E.L.O. albums never rose to the heights of the classic albums. He talks about the magic that happens when a group of musicians interact together to create music, each bringing themselves to the creative process in however subtle a way. He also talks about how often the spontaneity and excitement of a first or early take can't be replicated through the studio process, re-recordings, or overdubs. The first take, even if it contains flaws, is the one that captures the spirit of the piece and ends up being used. It's why, although Jeff wrote the songs and did the production, you can't simply discount the contributions of the other band members, and why that spirit and excitement is so hard for Jeff to capture as he sits alone in his studio doing take 93 of a track, getting it right. Yes, which is what I've been saying for quite some time, quite a few years now that we've actually dug into it, and E.L.O. wasn't just Jeff Lynne and some regular session musicians. He only got that sound because he also had Bev and Kelly and Richard and Melvin and Mick and Hugh. There, I think I got all seven members. Oh, and of course Lewis Clark.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we done
Well,
here?
I agree with everything. I don't have too much to add to that. Trevor was basically right on the ball there.
Yeah, and possibly a solution to this problem, which I don't know if we've ever brought up or if anybody else might have brought up. Use the touring band for the next album.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not going to make
Definitely touring band, especially the violin players and the cellists and I mean and
Wincentsen's got a thing for this.
because of their talent.
Wincentsen's got a thing for the
Because
string players in ELO. Well, Jeff Lynne's
because
ELO.
well, because we are not sexist on this show. We look at talent, not anything else.
At first,
Guys in the group.
yeah. At first, I'm going to notice the looks, and if the talent isn't there, then I'm not going to notice. But yeah, because I'm a guy, and yeah. Yeah.
Now, all joking aside, though, I don't know if she's really up for collaborating too much, but somebody who would really be good to collaborate with would be Lindsay Sterling.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a very popular younger violinist,
Mm-hmm.
and she is very, very talented. And
Yeah.
I could just imagine what she could bring to some of the stuff that he's been doing, and also as part of a touring band.
Oh, please. Jeff, or if someone from Jeff Lynne Management or ELO Incorporated, or whatever you're doing, who might see this, pass this on to Jeff. Yeah, Lindsay would be great. If you're making another ELO album, bring her in, bring in the touring band. If you're not going to make nice with Bevan, and I understand Tandy can't always be there as much as he used to be anymore, but touring band, and Lindsay,
And Danny.
and Danny.
Yeah. Yeah, bring Danny Harrison with you
Oh,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Danny Ott, who was the drummer
No,
of the band that me and a friend had, and he was not a good drummer.
oh.
But he was a drummer, and that's what mattered because drummers are hard to find. But in Danny's defense, in case this ever filters down to him, he was 15. He did get much better. He later played in the pretty popular heavy metal band around the Phoenix area for a while before he kind of took the route that a lot of musicians take when things just don't start to pan out, and think he went into real estate.
Made a whole much a whole bunch more money than he ever did.
I'm sure than playing clubs in, you know, Hitler's armpit or whatever his heavy metal band name was.
The two major ones I remember, well, I remember Filthy Little Bastards.
Yeah.
Was a big one back then, but and because I'm surprised they didn't go a little bit further.
It was the early
But
90s.
they started getting to drinking age right when grunge hits, so that's pretty much why I think.
And there you go. That's why it kind of
Yeah,
maybe fizzled out.
yeah, because I remember I think one of the members went to Central, and I remember them wearing the T-shirt that said the wherever the hell we play tour,
Right.
1989 or something like that. They did get one song on one of those Zia compilations.
Oh, well, they did better than I did. I didn't get any of mine
Yeah,
on the, but for good reason that my songs didn't get on the any Zia compilations.
a lot of the ones that made it were a lot better produced.
Really? And I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the three songs that I did in the studio. I mean the ones that I did at home with two dual tape decks and some tricks and just me and my guitar.
They'd stopped doing them by the time you did the Fife in My Life.
I thought they were still coming out.
I
Anyways, I
think
don't think
audio.
people care about this.
Yeah,
This might be this might be an off Zoomcast discussion.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, check
Yeah.
out the Fife in My Life by the Loons Till Death. It's on
Hmm.
it's on YouTube.
No, it's not, but it is at Bandcamp.
Oh, it is a Bandcamp.
Bandcamp,
Oh,
Eric Paul Johnson, along with all those other terrible songs that I recorded on Jeff Quinlan Loves You, The Seven Never Dims, and Pastor of Muppets.
yeah. And the song "The Seven Never Dims" I know is on YouTube.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
video should still be up there.
Yes. And keep
So
this.
there we go.
Mhm.
We got back around to plugging things that we do.
Yes, and keep this in mind when if you bother listening to those albums I did in the late 80s and early 90s. I was a very frustrated virgin and hung up on some one that I really shouldn't have
Should
been
never
hung
have been
up
hung
on
up
for.
on.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been hung up on for more than a month before it finally hit me. She's not interested in you.
You could have been laid by 21 if you would have just forgotten about her.
Oh, I don't know if that would have made any difference at all. I'm painfully shy, socially inept, introverted goober that doesn't exactly make the panties drop in high school and college age girls. Not that I'm
I
seeking
was
out
the
high school
same.
girls now. I was in high school at the time.
Yeah, but I was the same.
You're much more outspoken than I was.
No, I'm rude.
Are we gonna just? We should just. We're done here. If we've run out of
Yeah,
E.L.O. stuff to talk about, we're done here.
we're done here.
Yeah.